every Christmas movie, someone has to save Christmas. And we went to New York City to do just that. To get back to our normal holiday routine and see, does New York still feel like Christmas magic? Greetings, fellow citizens of New York City. Brickey's here with our annual holiday rip around New York City.
Woo!
We're doing our annual visit. Definitely going to be a little bit different this year, but no matter what we find, it's going to be better than last year.
And it's Christmas.
In New York City. After a year away, it was past time for our annual LA to NYC holiday rip. But you can't hunt down the holidays on an empty stomach. First stop, a Brooklyn classic, chicken and waffles. Refueled with a belly full of grease, off to my favorite NYC vibe spot, Washington Square Park. Been catching vibes there for 30 years. One of the biggest changes, parklets have taken over the streets. Outdoor dining and good times, living where cars once parked and people once walked. New York City creative problem solving at its finest. An easy detail to pick up on for a certified Christmas junkie, a lack of holiday decorations. You could tell the spirit of the city had been bruised. It felt more like surviving versus its usual thriving. So I stopped and washed away my Christmas sorrows with an everything bagel from my favorite spot. While waiting for the sun to go down, we went across town. Chelsea Market, decorations and snacks are always on point. If you were to call that Houston Street, you would be accurate. Except for on this street where it's called Houston. That's right, for whatever reason, it's Houston everywhere else in America and the rest of the world. But here, right now, for this crosswalk is Houston Street. A quick trip back to the Maritime Hotel to rest up and wait for what every Christmas light bulb needs, nighttime, to officially begin. Rested up, ready to roll and holiday stroll, Beth charted out a path for us to be able to catch one holiday spot after another, with only about 20 minutes of walking in between. When we lived in New York, we would come to the city often, working at art and craft shows, so it only makes sense Union Square Holiday Market was our very first stop. In full transparency, it felt like the same vendors with the same products from our 2019 visit. Once again, the reoccurring theme of just surviving and not thriving.
It's gonna be alright if you just hold tight, but you have to wait until tomorrow. You know he's on his way, and on Christmas Day there'll be no worry and no more sorrow.
It just is Christmas. It means everything. It's the most magical place. Well, I guess the second most magical place, but for me, it's the most magical place in Christmas.
Now with nightfall and using the Empire State Building as our North Star, we push on to try to finally discover the New York City Christmas magic. Is it still here? So far, sadly, the answer is no. At least not like years past. But we're not ready to give up on Christmas. We just need a little something to brighten up our cheer. Finally made it to my reason for coming. This is a surprise Harry Potter video. As you know, I'm a huge fan. I'm going to get my magic wand recharged. Absolutely not. Can't stand them, but a lot of people love them, and there's been a line around this thing the entire time we've been here. So, Harry Potter, don't get it. Don't have to. When looking for a place to brighten your holiday cheer, look no further than Oscar Wilde. Could this New York bar be the safe haven for a Christmas junkie desperately needing to refuel their holiday batteries? Well, I don't know, but I hope so.
It looks like someone's attic threw up on them.
How's it feel like the world's most Christmassy bar?
I think so.
Don't do that. Can we do the storehouse? It's awesome. If asked, I would tell you this would be my dream. But in reality, the decorations were so dense, it was almost hard to celebrate. Like a delicious buffet where you can't even concentrate because you're already thinking about designing the next delicious plate. A lack of Christmas music was a really big miss, damn near tragic. Don't just be halfway holiday, go the whole way. But sadly, with the recent rapid COVID omicron spread, being inside a loud bar with people shouting was not where we wanted to be. After a drink each, we headed east and pushed on into our search of saving our New York City Christmas. Maybe in a stress-free year, Oscar Wilde would have been the perfect place for holiday cheer. But not this year, at least not for me. But at least they tried, and I always appreciate effort. I'm a believer in magic and of Christmas magic. A lover of pop culture, and marketing and advertising is embedded inside of that culture. New York City is the center of advertising, and I needed some good old-fashioned Madison Avenue Christmas storytelling to save me. But sadly, it seemed that the tactile vignettes, the store windows that almost appeared to look like scenes in a Disneyland dark ride, have gone to the ghost of Christmas past in favor of video boards and of video games. At least so it seemed, until my Christmas magic found its way. On the corner of 6th Avenue with a Macy's story of a lovable blue reindeer that just wants to fly. With positive messages of you can do it and you are great, and the love and encouragement from their friends. It seems they can make it happen, and I somehow needed this. I needed to be reminded, at its core, Christmas is encouragement to be a better person and to hope for a better new you year. Have I been telling you this story wrong all along? Had a rough year switch my vision, where I was seeing myself as Buddy the Elf, but instead acting like his dad, Walter Hobbs? Have I been focusing too much on what's missing instead of enjoying what's actually here? I was once a young person who dreamed of moving to New York City, but I moved to Disneyland instead. Has that artificial world ruined my appreciation of the real world? Or is it hard to appreciate a New York Christmas when every single neighborhood has a long line of people just wanting to get a test to see if they are safe and can celebrate Christmas with the ones that they love and not alone in quarantine? Bad news may be contagious, but friends, happiness is infectious, and I needed to shrug off how this trip compared to the others of the past and measure this moment in time against itself. I'm in New York City with my best friend, who's my wife, standing at the epicenter of Christmas in America. We made it. We're back. And sure, it's different, but the spirit of the pilgrimage hasn't changed. It's only strengthened, like our love for each other after surviving a pandemic together. And what does Christmas mean this year? After the year of no Christmas, it means gratitude, and it means enjoying it for what it is, one step in the right direction. And this is it, the big show, a place where everyone decides to come together in search of Christmas happiness. We made it.
We did it.
To the heart of Christmas in America. Love it.
We did it. Now get me out of here.
Now
Too
let's
busy.
leave. As adults, we're often obsessed with the way children see the world, full of opportunities and happiness. But as adults, when did we forget that we once saw the world this way too? Christmas through the eyes of a child is the way we always want to see it. But what about allowing ourselves to see it with that same enthusiasm? We all made these adult decisions. We have no one to blame but our adult selves if we don't choose happiness. Saks Fifth Avenue got me when they opened their light show, playing Christmas, Baby Please Come Home, but without the vocals. So I had to sing along the word Christmas, which reminded me of a favorite Christmas moment on SNL that's been recording as long as I've been living on the street right behind me. It was in that moment where, like the song begs, baby, please come home, and I was at home, inside of Christmas, with tears in my eyes. I'm not gonna lie to you, because I never do. This Christmas wasn't the same, and New York wasn't the same. But then again, neither are we. The world has changed, and so has our holiday tradition. It's different, but a new kind of special. It's something I'm not taking for granted, and that was a lesson I needed to learn to save Christmas.
We made it! So much magic. So much magic.
Am I Walter Hobbs? Am I Buddy the Elf? Nah, I'm neither of those things. I'm just a guy that loves Christmas in New York City. Thank you for sharing this holiday adventure with me.
And so, with a little help, Buddy managed to save Christmas. And his spirit saved a lot of other people, too.